Jack and Sam were great friends, always hiking through the woods together. They had done it often enough that neither of them worried when the trail began to narrow. At first, the trees pressed closer as they walked, the ground uneven beneath their boots. The hush thickened, far denser than anything shown on the map. Sam slowed and said, "Hey, Jack, I don't think this is a normal hiking trail." Jack didn't look at the map and told him to relax. They kept going. Branches snagged their clothes, and the trail became harder to follow, then harder to recognize at all. Fear crept in quietly. Even Jack began to question where they were. Sam stopped and said, "Jack, we need to figure this out. We're lost. If we keep going, no one will find us." Jack knew Sam was right, but he didn't want to admit it. As he pushed past a low branch, Jack struck a small tree and knocked a bird's nest to the ground. The chirping stopped. Jack froze, then looked away. He pulled out the map, trying to make sense of their surroundings, but it didn't help. The trail wasn't there, and backtracking felt impossible. They sat in silence as fear fully settled in. Sam knelt beside the fallen nest and carefully lifted it, placing it back into the branches. He took his time, steadying it until it held. Before either of them could speak, a voice came from behind the bushes, asking if they were lost. They turned and saw a small old woman, thin and trembling with age. She stared at the nest, then looked at Sam and smiled. She said she had a cabin up the way and that kindness should be met with kindness. Her stomach growled softly as she licked her lips and looked between the two boys. They stepped back, startled, knowing they were far too deep in the woods for anyone to be there. Her face was kind, but her smile was not. Sam thanked her and said they didn't know where they were. The old woman told them to come with her, saying it was getting late and that her cabin was warm and the food was ready. Jack felt something was deeply wrong, but the forest offered no better option. So they followed her. The cabin stood where it shouldn't have. Old and solid, they ate the food she offered. It was plain, but it was food. Night came quickly, and the old woman gave them blankets and a quiet place to sleep. Exhaustion took them both. Sam woke first in the cold morning air. There was no cabin, no walls, no fire, and no old woman, only trees. Sam sat up and turned toward Jack's sleeping bag. It was empty. He called out Jack's name, but nothing answered. At the head of the sleeping bag sat a small wooden plate with dried bread and a few berries. Sam stared at the food for a long time. He did not touch it.
Remaining echoes, join me.